Stream is up. Let me go over the mid real quick. Actually, do you have to go over everything, rollouts and everything as well, or just like strategy and shit? All right, let's do it. So okay, I can't do that with a charge and charge. All right. All right. So normal rollout is you roll out left side. Demo puts a stick in the wall. Does a jump over to the shutter. You can do a second jump from here to the pack, or you can walk it. It depends on, like, if you want to be faster but have less HP, you do that second jump. If you want to be slower but have full HP, you can do the no jump. But you walk over to here, then you jump over to choke, and then you start charging it sticky. You can get the pack, and you launch it towards catwalk. There's two ways demos can roll out. Number one is top left through catwalk. Number two is bottom right through choke and getting the pack. Again, if you want to be full HP but have the height disadvantage, then you get the pack. If you want to be less HP but have the height advantage and just be faster, then you go over to catwalk as a soldier. The rest of the team can do one of two ways, or two things. You can either also go through choke and then play the left-hand side over here, or you guys can climb up the little... they changed it into a hose, I guess. Up into the stairs, into catwalk, and then you can roll out on the high ground. The safer option is obviously playing the low ground, but the more aggressive option is going to be up here. Your medic doesn't stay up here on catwalk. Your medic will probably like maybe come up here and then drop down, but your soldier and maybe your scout can go up there to help your demo if you want to do that. This map, and this mid in particular, is a very, very soldier-heavy map. And the reason I say that is because obviously there is a bunch of height advantage, but the second reason is that your soldiers initiate on this map more so than everything, like kind of other maps, because of all the sight lines. So if you're playing on the low ground like this, right, you have like no vision on anything, right? You go over to this into the gap, and you have some vision, but not a lot. And then you go over to here, and you still have some vision, but not a lot, right? So playing on the low ground kind of just nukes your vision pretty hard, right? And your soldiers can use that to their advantage by bombing from blind spots, essentially. For instance, if, let's say I'm the enemy team, and I rotate over to the left-hand side like this, there's a bunch of blind spots on top of the crates, right? So you can use, like, you can go to the far right, bomb off the wall, and then they have no vision of you unless somebody's literally up here, like a soldier. And the soldier has to hit that air shot to, like, stop you from committing onto your medic, right? Scouts on high ground is very strong, obviously. The problem is that as a demo man, your whole job is to kind of delay that, or not delay, deny that high ground, right? To deny that, for them to get across on top of the high ground. So their demo should be consistently shooting you up top on the crates, and if their demo is not doing that, then you should abuse the fact that they're not doing that and stay on top. Because you'll take soldier spam, sure, but that's a lot more manageable than having a demo man constantly shoot you. So if their demo man is not shooting you, again, use the height advantage to your advantage. You have two ways of kind of winning this mid, or kind of like, you know, going about this mid. Number one is to go through your side, your like left side over here behind the crates, and kind of rotate around towards their choke over here, or their house over here. Or you guys can do kind of like a spread mid where your soldiers are bombing, and then you guys walk across point like this and take their crates like very, very fast. That way you kind of push them into this corner over here, and you guys can just collapse on them while they're like struggling to kill your soldiers. again, it depends on how your team plays. I like the more aggressive strategy of just having your soldiers go high, go deep, land on them, and then your demo men and your scouts can kind of walk across point and walk across high ground and kind of just mulch everything up. And yeah, that's kind of the mid. It's not a very it's a very chaotic mid, but it's not like a super difficult mid to like understand, really. It's just keep the high ground if possible, make sure your soldiers initiate the fight, go high, go fast, and make sure you guys commit on your soldiers' bombs. Like the problem with like the soldiers is kind of twofold, where like your soldiers can commit really fast and really hard into their combo, right? But the problem is they're also like completely line of sighting your team, right? So to support your soldiers, you kind of also have to kind of commit around the crates and make sure that they all die. Otherwise, your soldiers are going to get baited, and that's never fun. So if the plan is to bomb and to go deep, then your team needs to commit with you. And yeah, that's kind of the mid. After the mid, we got second. Holding. So, for instance, let's say their team wins mid. You guys are on second, and you guys are holding second. The strategy normally is that your combo plays this left yard, is what it's called. And you either have like a soldier or a scout up here, a soldier or whoever's not playing up there plays up here, on this crate specifically, and then your demo kind of plays this yard. You can have traps above the door over here, you can have traps above the door over here, and spam, pipes into the garage. And that's kind of your default hold. Your med plays kind of back here by the pack, awaiting any bombs that happen. And then your flank members play over here. Usually a soldier, your roamer and your flank scout play over here. And the idea is to stop anybody from coming through the garage door into left yard. Make sure that if you're playing this side, if you're the roamer or if you're the flank scout, make sure you guys get constant buffs. Depending on what team you play, one of the more common strategies is to bait the traps and like kind of clear the traps if they're playing Quickie Bomb Launcher or whatever, and then rush these guys with like 3 people into yard. And if you guys are not buffs, then obviously that's just going to be easier kills for them, right? So you just want to be wary of that. If you do see that happening, if your flank members get pushed really aggressively on the right-hand side, you can do one of two things. You can either pinch the flank members by coming into garage and fighting the people in garage and fighting the people in, cutting off the support from garage and fighting these people on the right-hand side. Or you push the people into garage while, your flank members are fighting, and kill the people in garage, and then go fight the people that are behind. Again, the safer option is to just fight the people, like cut off the rotates or cut off the support, and then fight the people behind. But the more aggressive option is you can fight the people that are in garage, get a force or maybe just get a couple of kills, and then go back and kill the people behind. I don't know which one's better. It kind of depends on the situation. Like if you guys can get like multiple picks from the people in garage, then that's probably the better thing to do. But if you know that they're playing too far back and they can't really, you can't really chase them, then you should just go kill the people behind and help your flank. Yeah, so that's second. Going over to second point. The second point is a little bit of a bitch. There can be traps kind of everywhere, right? You can put traps above the door, traps on the box, traps on the pack, traps in the fucking tires, traps in the connector over here, traps on top of points. There's a lot of places you can put traps. Traps in the sandbag or like behind the sandbag. There's a bunch of traps that you can put. So be wary of the traps. Just take it a little bit slowly if you can. You don't want to, lose a bunch of players to traps when you can clear them. The other thing is that once you take the left yard as the attacking team and you guys get into here, you need to have people clear the hiding spots. So clear like connector, make sure nobody's really hiding here. into elbow over here. Make sure that nobody's hiding on these packs or anything. Nobody's hiding in the vent, back here, or like the uh, the elbow up here. Make sure your flank clears that. A lot of times, what people do is actually have the combo run through here. And the medic is obviously like baiting a little bit in that scenario, but like the combo is running through that area with the pocket scout, the pocket soldier, and stuff like that. They're buffed and they're killing the people over that way, just so that there isn't a chance of these guys like hiding while you guys are holding second or whatever. So your team will come up like this, clear everything, get these kills, and then rotate up from here, and then your medic can drop down and heal everybody that's on point. And that's kind of what second is. As defending, you generally, again, have people... Your demo man will probably play as aggressive as... You don't really want to go past this archway here. You don't really want to like be like this. As a demo man, you're going to get caught out really, really easily. Same thing with connector. You don't really want to be like peeking connector super hard. Just about on top of the point is where you want to be. The rest of your combo plays roughly around this left hand side here. Your medic obviously playing just about here to buff the flank members that are up top. What teams like doing nowadays is that they have both the soldiers on top of the high ground over here, and then having one of the scouts on the floor with the demo. The demo can kind of solo hold the left-hand doorway because that's his main concern. The connector is your flank members' jobs, or like your soldiers' jobs. Your soldiers gotta get into elbow. They clear up elbow. They make sure that nobody's here. You can even go as aggressive as just kind of peeking this to see if anybody's there. You don't really want to like, unless you get through like and nobody sees you, then you can jump behind, but you don't really want to go behind if they see you, because it's really hard as a defending team to push out on the second when like your soldier is getting chased. Like the soldier is technically making space if people chase him, but it's hard to like really capitalize on this on a map like this. So you just want to be wary of that. What else? Again, same as normal. If you're defending or whatever, or just in general, whoever's playing up top, get constant buffs. You don't want to be holding elbow with not a buff, especially if they try and flank rush you, right? And yeah, if you guys, get outnumbered, or if you get bullied out, you just want to leave through the left-hand shutter and then hold last. Last is a bit of a doozy. Kind of everything works on this map. So like NG works, sniper works, heavy works, pyro works. Pyro, you can be on the pipe, and you can deny the area. I think you can do the scorch shot jump onto that one, so you can hold the right hand side if you want it as a pyro, which is fun. NG works. You want to have if you have a gun. There's a couple of different places you can put it. You can put it over here on the right-hand side by the wall. You can put it on the left-hand side behind this box. You can put it really passively, just kind of in front of your resupply. You can put it more aggressively in front of this box right here. And you can even put it over here, like, if you want to do that. And each of the NG positions kind of depends on where your team plays. The idea of the gun is to deny the soldier from getting into the point and getting into your medic. So if your medic is playing, let's say, I don't know, over here on the left-hand side, right? You want to have the gun kind of in front of him so that the soldier, if the soldier does bomb, the gun can kind of just shoot him in the air and away from your medic. If your medic is playing close to the wall like this, then you want to have a gun maybe holding like right there or like right here or something like that, so that if somebody does try to rush you and your medic, then the gun can kill them. Sniper is really, really good on this last. You have a full sight line on the right hand side. You can see both the doors and the right side shutter. Left side's decent as well. You can see especially if you get on top of the boxes, you can see into the left side. You can see up top. You can even see right side if they're peeking through. yeah, the demo man generally plays on the left-hand side as well, though it is possible if you wanted to have your demo man play on the right-hand side with like a flank scout or an engineer, and then your combo plays on the left-hand side. You definitely want to have soldiers on top of the pipes to deny those windows and to spam into lobby to get early info. This is a really, really, really strong position, right, to see if anybody's peeking up top. And yeah. As for Ubering into last, you have a couple of different options. You can do the classic bomb your demo in with with sticky jump into last on the right hand side, and on the right hand side, and get the gun wherever it is, and play the DM fight essentially on the right hand side. You can go left. Again, you got to be wary of the sniper and stuff like that in all of these scenarios. But you go left, you will do a couple of things. If they're playing very, very right heavy, you can kind of just walk in, assuming there's a sniper. You can kind of just walk in and take the ground until you have to use, and then as close as you can get, and then use, and then trade with them that way. A lot of times teams play super right heavy and they don't even notice the left hand door, and then you guys can kind of just like walk in and like start Ubering about when you get to the point. And again, it depends on what team you play, but if nobody's watching the left hand side, abuse that fact and try and take the ground if possible. It's really, really good. You can also Uber from up top. The problem with Ubering from up top is that you can kind of get juggled in the doorway by a soldier, especially if he's watching pretty heavily. If you're able to bully the soldier first, that's really good. So bully him out, pepper him, maybe take a trade with like your soldier can trade spam with him, and once he leaves, then you guys can take that trade because you'll have the door open. And then this is really good because you have some sort of high ground that you guys can stay on, or leave through if needed, which is really good. But the idea is to kind of bully them into the spawn doors and bully them into a corner while your team try to capture this point. Have your flank scout kind of bully the point here a little bit and let them come to you, and then you guys can collapse on the point like so. So that's really good. I think that's all I really have in terms of basic stuff. Yeah, I think so. Is there any questions? Soldier rollout is pretty straightforward. You kind of just follow the demo, essentially. My respawn. Okay. But yeah, the soldier is doing this, does a pogo into the door, does another jump like this over here, and then you make the decision. You either go garage or you either go choke. If you go choke, you do a simple pogo off the shack into choke, and if you want to go choke, or if you want to go garage, then you do a little jump like this into garage door. And then you can come out like this, and then you can go two different directions. Sorry, let me just finish this. Two different directions. You can either go catwalk and then start, playing the high ground really aggressively, or you can kind of sit here and spam a little bit if you wanted, or you can go bottom right like this. And this is pretty positive because what you can really do is, I don't know if you guys do this on Sunshine, but like there's always a time when like your roamer plays Sunshine like cafe, right? And kind of baits their team into you. You can kind of do the same thing. You can kind of sit up here, wait until their team rotates into you, and then kind of nuke them, which is really good. So, anyways, what are you saying? You can do either or, actually. Again, it depends how aggressively your pocket wants to play. If your pocket doesn't want to do like super aggressive like roamery stuff, then you can do this like the normal like stick out through choke. And if you guys want to do more aggressively, you guys can do double Roma rollout. One person goes choke, one person goes garage, or even both soldiers go garage, and then you guys can do high bombs off the walls. That's kind of your main thing as a soldier, is you want to make sure you can, high bomb off the walls and goes, super deep. But yeah. Anything else? Breaking out of last. Yeah, I did forget about that. One thing as well before I do that is that as a soldier, you should take advantage of the lamps. You can stand on those lamps, and it's a really, really good high position for your soldiers to, get some sort of really high bombs in, like into the skybox before they, the enemy team can see you, and it's really good. Your roamer can probably be up there. Don't do it too often, because again, a lot of the times it's a very common spot, so scouts should technically look up there. You guys, as if any of your scouts are looking, or here, you guys should look at that lamp up there. On last, pushing out, you got to make sure the doors are covered. Your combo generally will push out. So say you get, they uber trade with you, they lose like 2-3 people, they can't really hold, they can't push last and they can't really hold second, so they back out. Your combo rotates to the left hand side and comes here like this. As this happens, your soldiers or your soldier and scout both, probably no more than 2 people, so maybe a flank scout and a roamer, or both soldiers come out like this, clear the left hand corner. This is a very common spot for a soldier to be, because the common idea is to have their combo go through here. So, clear this real quick. Also, make sure to clear this corner right here like this, so that there's no soldier hiding in this little mini room here. And then your other soldier will clear like this. Just make sure that there's nobody hiding over here. All the corners are clear. And the other thing is whoever's not going up top and not in the combo, so whether it be a flank scout or whether it be a roamer or even the pocket at sometimes, just make sure you clear the door. This is also a common hiding spot right here, because a lot of times the right shutter doesn't get cleared at all, and so he can either go for a back cap or flank your team like this, which is really bad. So just make sure to clear the corner as well. Just have one person just really quickly check it, and then you guys can push out. But yeah, always have at least 2 people up top and 1 person on the left hand side. Everybody else goes through shutter, and make sure you clear the corners.
I have a question.
What's that?
I don't know if you went over this. I was kind of half paying attention half the time, but what are good where should I build on last as like a NG?
Yeah, you got a couple of positions for that. Depends generally where your team plays. 2 main gun spots are behind these boxes over here, and then behind or on this wall over here like this. These are really good because you can have dispensers and you can kind of just build here really easily. This also denies the point, and it also denies anything coming from the right hand side. Only problem is that it doesn't really help anything from the left hand side. So generally you want your medic to play kind of close to the gun, not in the same general area so you don't get spammed with the gun, but also you can get protected by the gun, right? So that's it depends where your team wants to play. So those 2 locations are good. If you guys are playing holding really aggressively, holding behind the wall here, then you want to have a gun closer to the door, so you can have one right there, or you can have one behind this wall over here. Both are pretty good. So those 4 locations: wall, box, this wall, and that box.
Cool. Thank you.
Is there anything else that I can think of? For scouts, if you want to get up top, it's a little thing is that you can get on this little lip right here, on this wall, and then you can do a double jump into that's called heaven, by the way. It's into heaven. So if you instead of rotating all the way around, you can do that. let's see. The vent is, or drop down, I guess it's called, is all the way over here. You just want to clear it and make sure that nobody's hiding in this location because you can get flanked from it. You can also jump up into it. It's kind of a weird angle jump. I can't even do it because I haven't played this map in goddamn forever. But you can do a jump into vent, which is really fun to do, and you can get a rotate. That makes sense. That does make sense. Inferior weapon XD. But yeah, you can go up into there, and then you can go flank into lobby and into second, which is really fun. You just gotta, you'll make a lot of noise when you do that, so be wary. What else? What else? What else? I think that's all I have.
Can you go over map callouts?
Yeah, sure. We go into last and go from there. So this upper area is called heaven. Generally speaking, left heaven and right heaven is good enough. So like if you're holding last, you can say left heaven and right heaven, and that'll make sense to people. There's no other real callouts on last, if I remember correctly. I mean, this is just it's just pipe. Both of these are called pipe, and then you'll kind of context makes sense. You'll know where someone is when you say pipe. This is heaven still. This is elbow over here. That is drop down over there. Elbow. And then this over here is connector or Z, whichever one you like. This is obviously the second point. This is the left shutter. And then you get out here into yard. That's choke over there. That's garage or house over there. And then this is a bunch of names. I like to just call it right yard or left yard, depending on if you're attacking or defending. Some people call it mini yard, but yeah, mini yard, left yard, right yard, whatever you want to do. This is a shack, and then on mid, that's called, I mean, there's a bunch of names because it's usually named after like any of the famous soldiers that use that spot a lot. So currently it's called Soapy because Soapy's really, really good at using that spot correctly. Blue crate, red crate, catwalk up there. I called these two places gap. So like, blue gap or red gap. But apart from that, that's kind of it. So that's all the main ones at the very least.
I wanted to ask you about it because I've heard a couple people suggest it. What are your thoughts on like say scout and soldier when rolling out they go the left side into mid and they like just shove left immediately so they can start pressuring the catwalk door, like the one that sometimes the demo sits to spam through.
Oh, I see what you mean. Okay. So you mean, your soldier scout roll out to choke like this, and then they go through left yard like this, really aggressively into their garage?
Right, to like get early pressure.
Got you. That's a very common strategy. It's good for it depends on where the team plays, right? So also how their team reacts to stuff like that. So a lot of times in higher level gameplay, like a lot of times when they do that, the response from the enemy team is to push your team, right? Because you're technically down 2 players in this instance, right? So they might go through gap and go through left side, and they push aggressively into your choke. If that's not what the response is from the enemy team, then it's a good idea, right? Because what's going to happen is people are going to get distracted by the people going into garage, and they might even try and chase you to kill you. So if there's someone in garage, like if there's like a soldier here, you guys can 2v1 him really easily and get that frag. The other thing you can do, which like is a little underrated, honestly, is like flank all the way around through choke after you do that, and like as that is happening, your team is pushing into them, and you guys can pinch them extremely hard like this, and that's really good as well. But you just gotta make sure that when you are flanking, that you're flanking like you're not taking your time. You gotta go fast, right? But that's also a really good strategy. So I definitely like it. you just got to make sure when you do that is that you don't do that every single round, because then people will adjust and play correctly against it. But you can have a soldier in here to like kind of watch for it, and if he gets the first, like if he plays more passively like this, then he can see you coming, and he can play to bait you into garage and then kind of run away, or he can also kind of at the very least get the trade. And if he lives, or if he gets the first kill, then it's and you guys can't get the second kill, it's it's automatically worse. So
That makes sense.
but yeah, if you want to do that, that's definitely not a bad idea at all. Just make sure you don't do it every single time. But yeah. Anything else?
I know this map's like pretty well, like notoriously known for it being a 7-point map. So like during the yard hold, like how would the yard hold, be, played out?
So yeah, the yard hold is a bit of a pain. A lot of times people get stuck either holding yard forever or holding last forever. The yard hold, are you asking how you hold it or how you break it?
Yeah, like how? I mean, I guess both.
Okay, so holding it is the way you want to hold it is that you want to make sure that, because the main idea is that their combo is like either going to be in garage and gonna heavy like have like 4 people in garage, or they're gonna try and pressure through choke, and have 4 people through choke. You need to see how their team plays it, and you guys need to like kind of play closer to that doorway. So for instance, if they play choke pretty often, then you want to have your demo closer to the doorway and your soldier closer like this, and then your scout behind you like this, and make sure that they're constantly pressured. Because a lot of the times the soldier will try and make space by jumping out into the corner, and maybe trying to, get some sort of like damage on this guy up here. He might even bomb this guy like this, while the other soldier is trying to pressure like this, and get this guy off the high ground, which is pretty important. The other option is to go to garage, right? So your demo plays closer to the garage like this, spams pipes into the doorway, spams pipes into the archway over here. The soldier plays closer to the doorway, roughly right there, and then your medic plays, roughly in this location. The scout continues to play on the shack. Having a scout on the shack is just super powerful. It's a position where like it's hard for the scout to take a lot of damage, and it's also a very strong position to deny anybody from choke. Like if you see a scout there, it's like it's so hard for you to like actively get through this doorway. Maybe you could do like something like this and then go high, but the problem is that like the scout is still there to chase you on the height right when you land. So yeah, having a scout on top left is super important. The way to get that guy off is to have somebody get on the little barrels right here and spam him out like this. Get a couple rockets on the scout will rotate over to get a pack, and then while that happens, your other soldier comes in either through this door or through the left-hand door and bombs in. That's the way to get him off. The other idea is to literally just bully left yard, so just have a soldier kind of bomb through like this, shoot the people. The scout runs through, assuming that the demo, that's his stickies. The scout runs through. What you can even do is have both soldiers and the flank scout run through and 3v2 the people that are over here. Once that happens, and they get the trades, and hopefully they get, both the kills, or at the very least they get the damage, you see how the enemy team reacts. If they push like this, you guys can your demo can kind of deny the doorway and deny them from coming in, and then your combo can kind of get through over to the left yard, and your whole team takes left yard essentially. And then it's kind of a mixed bag for the enemy team, right? They can either like meet you by this doorway over here, or back up onto the point and fight you guys on the point. Flank shoving is really solid on this map too. So for instance, they do that play, your flank members, or not your flank members, your combo can rotate all the way around and just start capping mid while they try and fight your flank, right? Your soldier gets the high ground of the garage here, your demo stick is off catwalk, and your scout will play on the floor with your medic, and then, like, unless they come through choke, it's really, really hard for them to come back into mid. So doing a wrap play is really, really good too. That's kind of it. Hold a second. Anything else?
I think that's it for me, at least.
Sounds like a plan.
I'll take everybody else's answer as a no.
Seems like it. This map is not as hard as people make it out to be. This map is relatively soldier heavy. Scouts generally have a hard time because there's just so many doors that, you know, the explosives can hold really aggressively that it's hard for scouts to really, like, have a lot of impact. But you just got to make sure that you are, like, you're playing smart. You're not walking through the doorways kind of, you know, for free, or trying to expecting the doors to be free is kind of the main issue. Is that, like, a lot of scouts think, you know, you could just walk through the left doorway and you'll be fine, or, like, if you walk through, like, choke, you'll be fine. But it's you know, you really have to let your soldiers go in first, let them kind of take the brunt of the damage, and the attention, and then you guys can come in from the cleanup. So yeah, I think that's all I got.
Cool.
If you have any questions or whatever, let me know.
Solid. Much appreciated.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, thank you for your time.
Thank you.